Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday. It's the last Monday in February. Weird, right? February flew by. I hope everyone had a good weekend and they were able to get some sewing in if they wanted. I did not get to fulfill any of my goals yesterday. Wait, did I? No, I didn't get to film myself or Kindle. Oh, and I messed up on a bag, not once, but twice. I'm trying to make a Marvel character out of a Lola, but I think it might be too small. And then I had different ideas, and I'm still trying to pan that out. I'm going to, hopefully when I get off here, I'm going to set up and film the first half of the video that I was going to do yesterday. Then at 1 o'clock, I'm cutting down the Mabel modification with my Patreon group. I'm going to be live at 1 o'clock Eastern time over there. And hopefully that's like an hour and a half or less than an hour and a half. Then I'm going to finish filming and then give it to Kindle to edit. And then hopefully I can film him tonight. We just had a crazy day yesterday. Yeah, my room is not, my Kindle's drawing a blueprint for a new organization system. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to store zipper zipper tape. I think I have an idea. I seen this really cool thing with dowels and like little rollers. Because the thing is that I never know what colors I have because they're all like, it's a hot mess. My hardware is always organized based off of colors. So I have that. I have all my zipper pulls in one drawer, but I seen this really cool thing where they took like little sections and I can like maybe put hardware based off of fandom, not necessarily color, or may do it off of color. It might be easier just to do it off of color and just put dividers in there. And therefore I know, because like today, the bag that I'm doing for that, I have everything ready for the Ava, and I'm doing it in this really cool Star Wars fabric. And I'm going to be putting like this really cool, this is my color scheme. But I'm using gold hardware, and I realized I had no zipper tape except one, which kind of goes with this, so I'm not too disappointed. Gold tape that goes with the scheme. It goes kind of goes with the blues in Tatooine and goes with some of the blues in the fabric. But this is the only zipper tape I had that had gold teeth, and I need to do a haul. I'm probably going to order from Zipper Valley whole next week. What I can do is I can ask Hope, she's my computer tech, to see if you can like watch me how I pick out my zipper. I had emails asking me how do I pick out zipper colors, and the truthful answer is sporadically. I just pick out whatever like calls to me, and it gets me in trouble sometimes, but it's also like my saving grace. Like when I do projects, then I'll have this like unique zipper that I bought like a year ago, and it goes perfectly with whatever project I'm doing. I also got a few emails yesterday in reference to selling bags. So I'm going to answer this like, it's not trying to be vague. I'm going to do like a broad spectrum on selling bags, and then later on, hopefully in the month of March or April, I can do a Nova's Nugget and go a little bit more in details. The number one question I get a lot is, I don't think my bags are good enough to sell. I get that. Like I told you yesterday, like 99% of the time, I don't like the bags I make either. When I'm really feeling a bag, like the Scarlet one that I just made, the Scarlet Witch, I'm on like a cloud high. Like I am super all about it. But I had a good friend that lives in Arizona, and when I was dabbling with making bags then, or just thinking about it, when she lives in Arizona, I live in Maryland. She told me to go into Columbia Mall, which is the Mall of Columbia. That's like not even a mile away from my house, and go into Nordstrom's, go into Vera Bradley, go into every place that has high-end bags or mid-range bags. All of them have stitch imperfections. You look at Loungefly, and that's like kind of the high end for, it's not high end for, it's mid range for geeky fandom, because Vera Bradley has like Harry Potter and Disney, and same with Dooney and Burke and Coach. But if you look at any of their bags, they all have some kind of imperfection. They're not made in a factory where it's like a machine's making it, like, especially Dooney and Burke. You can watch how they make their bags on YouTube. It's pretty cool. They're made from humans. They make mistakes. Our mistakes are pretty awesome. So my thing is that you have to believe in yourself for other people's to believe in you. And I know that sounds like foolish and like an easy thing to say, and it's not. You do need to believe in yourself, though. It's easy to fault ourselves. It's so easy. That's part of the process of believing in yourself. But if you can look at your bag and go into Target and be like, yeah, my bag's better than that I made. If you can go into Vera Bradley and be like, mine's bag is a heck of a lot better than that, you're believing in yourself. It's time to sell. You need to find your niche. For me, it's fandom. Fandom is my bread and butter because I'm a nerd. When you look in my room, you see there's like Star Wars, Star Trek, there's just Harry Potter, everything. There's a little bit of everything in me. And I was tired of Loungefly, and I was tired of the geeky bags that were made subpar. So I wanted to reach out to other people that want to cosplay every day, and I can make it look like it. And then I got into hidden, like hidden fandoms where it's not in your face, but there's a slight fandom to it. And I do have a third collection. And I always want to call it the grown and sexy, but Kendall told me I can't, like, because it will veer people away. The grown and sexy section of Etsy. People buy my cork products and leather bags all the time. Like, if I put it on there, it sells. Um, I think people like my stitching style. I think people like how I put fabrics together. Um, I feel confident with my top stitching, and I always feel confident in my color like coordinations. Once you figure you got this confidence, it's time to sell. Then you need to figure out what your platform is. Are you going to be a person that just opens a small business on like Facebook and have PayPal, and you can do invoices, and you can do ready-made, or you're going to do where someone pays you up front and you're making the bag and is in a 4 to 6 week time period, or whatever time period you choose, and you go from there. Are you going to start with your family and friends? Are you going to go to like small venues, small expos for bags? Like if you're into leatherworks, I highly suggest you to go into like where saddles and horses and stuff, like where people that really buy a lot of leather and that know that what you're making is worth it. Good morning. And go from there. Are you going to go, can you do something at your family school, church, or whatever, and be part of that function, and put your water out there and make a couple bags and get the public coming back to you? You need to be confident in yourself, because it's easy in this business. People will buy your stuff and then insult you, and you need to believe in yourself. And it's really important, because it can make you want to like run away and say you're not worth it, and you totally are. I personally like Etsy. I have a love-hate relationship with Etsy because of the fees, but because of the CEOs, because of the traffic, because of it's like being Amazon and PayPal, people trust Etsy. So I use it. I use it to my full capacity. The first 2 years I was on Etsy, I hardly got any sales. I literally, if I pull my first year up, I think I got like $700 worth of sales the first year, and it was hard. So two things happened. One, I talked to someone about Etsy not working for me, and I started joining Facebook groups, and then there's like groups within Etsy. Like Etsy has a platform where you guys could talk amongst each other. It's a really cool thing. You can't do it on your mobile. You only could do it on a desktop or a laptop. And certain groups will pick you and send you an email like, hey, do you want to be part of this focus group? And you're like, yeah, I want to be. And then they start talking to you about how to solicit, when you should put sales, should you give a 10% person if someone looked at something and they left it in their cart so they can come back? There's all these little things that started helping me like curate more sales, as well as the more conventions I went to, I started gaining a following, and people will remember my business card, my name, and then they would see it on Etsy and they would feel more secure in buying a more expensive bag because now they see me in person and they see the reviews on Etsy. Um, um, Time management was never an issue with Etsy. I don't think I've ever was late on a bag. I'm really fast at shipping because I have no patience. So I know people, they get really excited for something and they want it there instantly. I do offer customs, but with customs, I learned how, like, a lot of wordage and verbiage about stipulation if it's like fandom fabric and time frames and stuff along those lines. Um, I do sell on Facebook, but not like what people think I do. It's not like random people coming up to me and buy my bags. It's mostly other bag makers who see a tester bag that I have and they buy it. That's the only time I sell on PayPal through Facebook, but it happens a lot more than you think. Like, the more I test, the more my tester bags sell to other bag makers. Um, I tried Shopify and I've never got a sell off of it, so I stopped it. I like the premise that if you're a person that is a wordsmith, you can vlog, you can explain your process, there's so much stuff you can do to it so someone can start really getting to know you. But there's fees with that, just like Etsy. I haven't sold I've sold a few bags on Instagram. I know my child is always encouraging me to put my Instagram shop up. It has a lot of cool things. So let's say you do a bag. Let's say you do the Lola from Swoon. You put it on Instagram. You could put it in your shop on Instagram, put the price, and then if someone likes it and they click on it, they could buy that bag right now on Instagram. There's all these really cool features. You can do virtual or you can do it in person. I know another person that's around here that works side by side with a really cool Tupperware person, and they have like a bag party and a Tupperware party, and they get sales like that. I have friends that work through their churches, and like the congregation will like buy bags, and then there's like little events like at farmers markets or town halls and stuff like that that they can sell at. But before you can get there, you need to believe in yourself. You have to put yourself out there, and you're going to have to be okay with not everyone's going to like your style, and that's perfectly fine because we don't like every bag style. Some of us are like, ooh, Louis Vuitton, and all of us are like, that stuff looks like a hot garbage mess. Or, we all are different. There You just need to find what your niche is and what you like personally and go for it. I have a quirky fandom style. Even one of my regular bags that are made out of cork or whatever, there's something quirky. Look at my hair. I'm a quirky person. That's my style. And oddly, people like it. I didn't think anyone was going to like it. So find yours. You might be like that chic, leak, I'm going to make everything in leather or cork, or I'm doing everything in cotton. I'm going to be like a Vera Bradley. I don't want to, like, figure out what your style is and go from there. Yeah, it's definitely it is definitely a necessary evil. And my other word of advice is have cool people in your corner. I have the friends that I have in my corner also. Like, you're going to have friends that don't sew, but you need to get friends that do sew that you can talk to, like FaceTime or whatever. You need to talk to people that could sew because they understand time frames, curves, all, like, everything. You need to have people in your corner that will be like, yeah, that bag, I don't know, the stitching looks off or whatever, that you can trust because it helps. You need someone that you need to vent to about someone trying to return something or someone saying something. You need that foundation. You need that like group of people that will have your back, that are honest with you to join Facebook groups for Etsy or Shopify or get how to start selling. You need to talk to your accountant. You need to do research. Go to your local library and find out what the cost of living is in your area. Um, go to functions, like if you're going to do fandom like me, go to Comic Cons and see what other bag makers are pricing their bags at so that you can have a gauge for you. Every town and every area is completely different. I get a lot. I used to take it as an insult, but now I take it as like they're genuinely curious. Like, how do you sell your bags for the amounts that you sell it for? Years of practice and self doubt, and then realization. People want what I can make, and not everyone can make it. Um, but everyone, it doesn't happen. I have people that look at my stuff, walk away, and then 5 seconds later, someone comes by from behind them and buy it. You have to believe in yourself. You need to have an accountant. You need to figure out what, if you're going to be an LLC, a sole proprietorship, all the tax information, again, from your accountant, all the legal stuff you might want to look into. If you have it through your job, like legal docs or whatever, you can speak to people to find out what you need to become a business. Some housing companies, like if you own a house, some HOAs will allow you to have a business running out of your household. So you need to figure out everything for you before you make this jump into you're going to sell it. I wish it was that easy that you could just start selling, get your business cards and call it a day. It's not. You need to see if your name of your business is already bought out by from an LLC or sole proprietorship. If your name of the business is similar to anybody else's business on Etsy, Shopify, any of these platforms. You need to maybe look for mentors. There's in certain groups, like I can give you like one, creative bag making. They have a mentor program, not only for sewing, but like advancements of your bags. Sign up for getting a mentor. Um, don't be afraid to go into different groups and learn. Go, if you want to learn more about Etsy, sign into Etsy. And it's going to be hard to sign into your business until you have your business name. Look for logos because people take your photos. Oh my God, people take your photos. I've had people come to me and be like, "Hey, you make this bag?" And I'm like, "I did make that bag. That's my bag." Have your logos. Learn about what kind of, do you want a camera? Can you take all your pictures from your cell phone, or do you need to take some camera classes, take some light box classes? There's a lot of stuff that goes into before you sell your first bag. You need to figure out if you want to do this where it's a gradual plan. Like if you look at people like Crafty Gemini and So Sweetness, they all started it as like kind of like a side hustle. And then now they've grown so big that their husbands work with them. That is amazing. Like literally amazing. Like you have employees. Look at Lauren. Lauren, the same thing. She went from just trying to show people techniques, and now like she has employees. Like I don't know if people grasp that. That is huge. That is huge. And the thing is as a sewist to a sewist, let's not hate on other sewists for getting bigger. Let's not, because as they grow, our community grows, which means there's more opportunities for you and me. She has employees. She's employing and giving funds on a weekly, bi-weekly, whatever basis. That is huge. The fact that Danny is working with Sarah side by side, and she's able to have like employ her parents. That is huge. Crafty Gemini's husband helps with her PR, helps with her organization, and no longer has to work. They work together in this Crafty Gemini conglomerate. That is amazing. So look at these people, look at their journey from the beginning, watch, be observant, and learn. Sewing with Mrs. H, Samantha, she not only has her Sewing with Patterns with Mrs. H, she owns Bag of the Month, she owns Swoon, and she has a storefront. That is epic. That is epic. So we all just need to like talk to one another and see what we can do to help us get to the platform. But my first thing is believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. I believe in you. I believe in anyone that puts a needle in a machine and starts sewing, because we are not as big as everyone wants to pretend we are. No. Really look at your YouTube. Most people are following like true crime, beauty blogs, lifestyle blogs, family blogs, mommy blogs, paper crafting blogs. And these people all get some kind of endorsements, whether it's like Casetify, food, makeup, whatever. Really look at all of our top people in our sewing world. We have very few people that actually get sponsored in the sewing world, even in garments, even in like garments, shoemaking, leather work. So my thing is that we need to uplift one of each other up and show the world that they can sew too, and spread our love, and believe in yourself. Speak to an attorney if you are able to. If you're not able to, then I highly suggest utilizing your library and speaking to your librarian and asking about like um, business laws and practices for your state, for your country, for your county. Um, and then a really good accountant, a really good accountant. Then also start looking into your business names and what you need to do for the IRS to file as a business, as well as your state. There's a lot of stuff that I don't feel like I hear a lot of, but it's it's a lot. But the number one thing is support system and believing in yourself. No matter if everybody beside you is saying that you should make a bag and sell them, if you don't feel confident in yourself, then your prices are not going to reflect you, and you're worth it. You're totally worth it. Um, that is my soapbox. Yeah, it all depends. Like you have to, if you're super busy and it's your side thing, then you need to make, if you're doing customs, you need to reflect that and tell them, I work a permanent job. I work this is my second job. Never say it's your side hustle. Because if I was getting it back from you, you're like, oh, this is my side gig. I would be like, is she really into it, or she is just into it for money? So I would say it's your passion. It's something that you are striving to do full time, but at this time that's not feasible. And you have a longer time frame so that way you can create the best kind of art, you know? Yeah, seam rippers are your friends. I get it. I'm with you on that. Every stitch we take out, it's just a reflection of how awesome we are. I'm sorry, we all make mistakes. I literally made like 18 million mistakes on this body armor for Riri, and I was so frustrated. But I have to always look back that these mistakes are going to make me make a better bag. I know not to do it again and what to avoid and what I should try. Um, you have to just keep pushing. Okay, weirdly, I don't make a lot of mistakes with leather. I think because I'm hyper focused that it's leather, I don't make mistakes. I don't make a lot of mistakes when it's cork either, because it shows, the imperfections show. Um, the leather, like I'm trying to think of I made a mistake on any. Oh no, I take that back. When we were testing for Erica, the Brightstone one, the one that looks like the Chloe bag, I had made wanted to make it in suede. I got really cocky. Normally I like to make a mock-up similar to I showed you before with my Mabel, to see what I would like to, what could be a triggering point, or a point that like makes me want to give up, or a difficult part that I know it's going to show. I decided to go with this beautiful suede, and I messed up. I still have that bag. I actually have it like in a corner, so every time I look up, I realize I can keep pushing. The only way you can make progression is by falling and failing. It's part of the process. There is somebody at So Magical. She designs all of her artwork on her vinyls, and she was showing her artwork. The Mavericks had her paint a mural in their building. She does a lot of the Art Deco, and if I showed you her vinyls, you would automatically know who she is. She has the most beautiful geometric prints you've seen. She also does live pictures, like paintings at weddings of couples, and she did this one for this family. And I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you made that." She's like, "Yeah, I literally scrapped 800 before I gave them the one that I thought was good." And that literally made me smile. The woman's a little bit older than me, and the fact that she's still like she's been painting probably longer than I've been alive, and she still has imperfections and she still scraps them and she keeps pushing. That's what we have to do. Nothing comes easy. If it does, then be cautious about it. This is part of our art. Everybody that, whether you're playing basketball or you're painting or you're making bags or you're creating avant-garde runway, it takes time. It's an art. It literally takes time. Yes and no, because like if you live in Maryland, you could have the same laws as me, but you may not. Baltimore has different laws and regulations than I have in Howard County, Maryland. Every law and every place is completely different from the next. Also, no, that's kind of like cost. I live in Howard County. If you were to look up all the counties in Maryland, Howard County and Annapolis and certain parts of Hagerstown are on the higher spectrum of income and more expensive properties. Okay. Baltimore is also expensive, but they have one of the higher low income areas in our state. So if I'm going to functions that are only in Howard County based off of where I live, and I sell XYZ for $50 and this person's selling it for 35, they're going off of what their income and stuff is in their area. We have different laws. Like in I know from my friend who has trying to do an art business, he owns a townhouse too in Fredericksburg, and he's not allowed to have a small business in his home, even though he owns it. Every county, every state, every country, everything has different laws. Accountant, having your accountant too is different. Like I have one friend that is told not to pay her quarterly taxes, to wait until the end of the year. I, on the other hand, pay my quarterly taxes as well as if I go to AwesomeCon. I put all my tax information, but I know people that don't do that. Um, that's why I always tell people, I advise them find your own attorney, because you're going to need that. You're going to need to find your own accountant. Like it's kind of like when you file taxes. There's some of your friends that'll be like, I'm getting back 15,000, and you're like, wait, how do I owe 500? Like every accountant is different, so you need to find an accountant and find an attorney so they can guide you and tell you what you need and what, like an attorney can tell you you'll be better as an LLC or sole proprietor. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm going to tell you what I am, but I can't advise you on what you should do, because what's good for the goose is not necessarily good for the gander. That's why I don't like talking about money because everyone sells differently. Look, let me take Monica, my bestie. She takes longer to sew a bag than me. We both sew really, really well. Should she charge more if we both make it out of leather? Should she charge more for her bag that looks identical to mine with the same material because it took her longer to make? Should I charge less because I was faster? That If that question makes you uncomfortable, that's kind of why I feel uncomfortable, because you can't judge your income based on somebody else. You don't know how long it took them to make that bag or how fast. You don't know if that person messed up and had to scrap the project and start all over again. You don't know if that, like, how the length of time is a big thing, because everyone's always like charge for your time, and I'm always like, that's kind of a weird one, because if the person right next to you makes 5 bags exactly the same as you for your one bag, so they should charge the same exact as you because it took you longer or took you faster. It's a weird conversation to have. I feel like you should charge whatever you feel is fit. If you feel like you want to charge by the hour, do it. If you want to do the material times three, then do it. Do what you feel is good. But I feel like you need to have someone that guides you in the accounting world and in the lawyer world of businesses so that they can help you, and also doing research. talking, you can go to someone else. If you're doing leather crafts, find a leather worker near you and ask them that question. They may or may not be able to assist you with it. I have a thing. I have a total fear for the IRS, so I pay. My parents had four of us, and my mom was stayed at home to take care of us because daycare, it's always been kind of ridiculous, and she just wanted to be there for her kids. Money was always kind of tight in our household, so I'm a person, because of how I seen how money was tight, that when I have it and I owe it, I'll pay it, because I don't want to deal with what if I can't pay it 2 months around, because what if we have an emergency room visit, or there was a flood in our house, or we need a new appliance, or our dog needed surgery. There's always something that happens. So I pay it. I'm afraid of the IRS. I'm not afraid to say that. I'm petrified of them. So, um but I'm also that person that I own all my cars. I don't have a car payment. I will save up, buy a car in cash. I don't like having debt. The only thing I pay every month consistently is my mortgage and the phones. Oh my God, the phone bills. Okay. Um, but that's it. I hate debt. Like, debt freaks me out. It's a triggering thing for me. So I don't like to wait yearly. There's people that do it yearly and they're super successful at it. And I'm just not one of them. I'm not saying it's not good or bad. I'm just saying that wasn't for me. That's why I always say talk to your accountant. My accountant was like, if it makes you feel more comfortable doing so, you can do that, or we could put it into a savings account and in case you need it. So talking to an accountant, big lifesaver. Good morning from Florida. So like I said, just talk to a slew full of people, have a good inner circle. Um, join different join different groups. Join like there's a group called Patterns or something, where like people talk about like different patterns, and then sometimes the conversations go off topic about selling. And look up LLCs and sole proprietorship, look up taxes in your area. How do you have to pay them? Um, Look up how would you start your business name? Does anyone else have your name? Um, Logos. And I can't say this enough. The first step you need to do is believe in yourself. You can do it. I think anyone can. That's what America is supposed to be made of, right? We're supposed to be creating our own dreams. Yay! Captain Lives Love. Yeah, so that would be my thing. So pricing is always, I like literally whenever I'm in a Facebook group and someone asks that, I literally like have the cringe face and I want to walk away, because it's such a personal subject topic to me. I know that sounds weird, but it is, because I feel like when you go down that rabbit hole, you're telling somebody else that their prices are wrong and this person's prices are right. And if it feels good to them, then why? Like, I hate when people are like, oh, I sell this Devon for $13, and they're like, you're underselling yourself. But are they? What if they live in a smaller town that's more rural, and this is the price point that is good for them? What if they want to make beautiful things at a cost efficient price and not really make that much profit, because it makes them feel good to have their art out in the world? There's no wrong or right answer to this. And this is the reason why I usually just step back, because people have a tendency of just going after each other because of their own personal insecurities. So believe in yourself, have a really good inner circle of people, lawyer and an accountant, and look at different avenues you want to sell. There are people that sell on TikTok now. So like you can sell in different things. I have friends in the UK that sell in the WhatsApp. So like you got to figure out what is good for you. Would it be more comfortable? Do you have an old eBay account and you're like, hey, I'm gonna sell my bags from eBay? Like, you got to figure out what works for you and grow from that. Hi. So like that's my personal opinion on that. There's no wrong or right answer. I just veer away from it because I don't know. Everyone has their different points of views on stuff. It's It's different. So I sell on Etsy. I do it because Etsy to me is like Amazon. It is an evil that exists in the world. So you either are going to gripe about it or you're going to utilize it. As much as every time I want to be like, I want to cancel Amazon, I never do. So, um, Etsy, as much as I keep saying I want my own business page, Etsy drives in traffic to new people that don't know who I am. I do, but I would have to say 75% of my sales are not from new traffic. It's from people that see me at conventions. I've been doing conventions for 6 to 7 years now. So I have a fan base, not like I'm famous, but like a fan base, like people that have seen me who bought bags for me and they buy for me yearly. Like when I go to AwesomeCon, I know there's just three people. There's three people that faithfully come. I have a person that's in DC who's a librarian who also goes hunts ghosts. So because of her, I always like to make a creative bag for her, like a doctor's bag or something like that. She is amazing. She makes me feel like I'm $1,000,000. Like I feel like I am freaking Chanel when I'm with her. Then I have two sisters that come and look for one of my Marvel bags because I do a different collection for AwesomeCon every year. They go. So I have like a fan base of people that know who I am now and that buy from me. And they know that if you have a problem with something, I'm going to fix it. If there's an issue, I will fix it. Um, so I go from there. Yeah, I'm getting that. I think it actually is coming in today. So I'll show it to you guys tomorrow. I think I'm going to try to sew with it on my Belle Mabel bag tomorrow as well. Um, I'm getting it. I wanted to see what it looks like. I'm curious. If you look at my 5550, I literally always have a zipper foot on it. That is my favorite foot on that. It is just it I don't know. That's my foot. But this one has rollers, so I'm kind of curious. Low shake machines are interesting because I like them. They all have their purpose, but it's harder to get customized feet. And then when you get feet from people that are not from the actual dealer, I'm always more concerned because most computerized machines are low shake machines. Um, I have one. I buy all my feet from Brothers though. Though even with a QVP Mini, you can change the feet out with a 5550 or 8700. And I'm not afraid to get like off the brand names. It's kind of like when you have a Bernina. You don't really try to get off brand Bernina foot because you're like, nah, I'll mess up my machine. It's that same stipulation. Let's see. All right. Yeah, I've had really good luck with off-brand with high shank, but not with low. Somebody gave me off-brand Bernina one, and it knocked my whole machine off of timing, and it took me forever to fix it. It's kind of yeah. I'm a person that'll try to repair things. That's why I think I got all my machines from Steve from Sewing Gold because if you're looking for a machine, one, Steve, if you didn't even buy your machine from him, if you called Steve for a repair, he'll try to walk you through it. Two, Steve knows me by now, so he'll either call my husband or myself and he'll duo call and we will be underneath the table like in a live call trying to fix things. He's pretty amazing. And I'm not afraid to fix things. I want to go in because if it happens again, that means I can repair it. I'm really big for that. Hmm. Well, we shall see. If it hits my if I try I'll try it today. If it's not working for mine, then I'll see if it fits on another machine and probably give it to someone away. But I'm hoping I know I was a pretty pricey thing. I hope it works. I like the blind hem foot. I like the blind hem foot a lot. I like because the guide on that is so beautiful. Usually have the skinny narrow foot that I got from a QVP Mini, but then someone told me about there was a skinny Teflon foot, and I got it from eBay. Best thing ever. I haven't even put the black one on. There's two. I have the one with the green Teflon, and then there's like this black one that's like all black Teflon on it. And I keep saying I'm going to try it, and I haven't yet. Okay, well, I hope you have a good conference. I'm hoping that foot works. It's supposed to be coming in today. I also got a few things from them. They had these really cool like edge feet, like for like I kept thinking when I make the hitchhiker bag, it'll look really cool on that. Yeah, see, I don't even know. Like, I feel like I'm not a good teacher because I really don't switch feet. Like, I try so hard not to. That is like the only time I switch feet is if I'm doing piping because I want that close, close stitch. But if I can get away with it, if I know I can hover, I'll do that. That's my lazy. I don't want to change feet. I don't know what's wrong. Don't know why. Yeah, skinny feet are super helpful. And like I don't know, it works easier, especially when I'm binding the narrow foot. I can follow the guide because you know how you measure your guide out, like if it's 1/4 of an inch or 3/8 or whatever. I know. I seen that. I did not get one. I do have I have a skinny foot from Sewing Gold for my Juki 5550. I've put it on like 2 years ago and I haven't took it off. He also has now what I need to make an order for is he has feed dogs for leather that are don't have the grip. So it doesn't drag or like shred. And I'm like, oh my God, I might have to get those. So that's going in my buy from Steve. I swear I buy something from him every year. Um, he's just a good person. Mm. I like change. Okay, so here's the thing. My favorite, what I do when I change feet, the only machine I change feet at is my Bernina. Because I just like the fact that you just lift it up, take the thing off, and put one back on. Like there's no screwing or anything. Like that to me makes the biggest difference because there's no excuse for me being lazy. And also because I'm notorious. I will let you know now. And it was because of Jillian that I changed this. I'm notorious for losing screws on sewing machines. So I usually buy extra ones whenever I do buy from Steve from somewhere, because I'm notorious. So Jillian told me about like the little magnetic bowls. So I have one of these on each one of my Jukis. And when I'm changing out feed or like oiling or greasing the machine down, I put all the screws in there. I am notorious for losing screws. Oh, will definitely sleep, Lavender. 1 a.m. in Guam. I don't know how you're up. I'll probably have the phone sleeping on my face. Um, that's the only machine I don't mind changing the foot is a Bernina. I don't know. I think that's why I want like one of the bigger ones, the Berninas with industrials and the Tula Pink. I mean, not the industrial, but with the embroidery, the Tula Pink one, is because I don't mind changing feet with them. I have no idea why. It just comes so much easier. I think I have shown all the machines. What I'm gonna do is Kendall is gonna try to redo my room sometime in the month of March for the C, and then you'll get a better take. But the three machines that I sew on the most are the 5550, the 1541S, and the 1341S. Those are the machines I sew on the most. The Bernina I usually sew on upstairs when the kids are on spring break, summer break, or some kind of break, and I'm at home and I need to do it. I get sew bags on the Bernina like no one's business. I actually, if you look at one of my first tutorials, it's for a boxy pouch. You see me sew on the Bernina. It's hard to sew on the Bernina down here because I have three industrial machines plus a skiver. So I have nowhere to set it up except on my cutting table. And I would either need to stand up and sew, and it's super uncomfortable doing that. And then I mess up. That's why I don't do it. I have made one tutorial on it. I don't have a normal table in here. It's all industrial tables. So chances are you won't see me do it unless I'm randomly live and I'm upstairs. But generally I'm live down here. All my equipment's down here. Oh yeah, the black skinny foot. I think I still have it in its package. It was over here. Come, oh, here it is. Huh, see? It's like all oiled up still too. I haven't even opened it because the Teflon foot I have on there is like really awesome. But it's all black and it's really smooth. It's part CF5 3N, and I got it from Q-Tex. But I like the hinge on here is really good. And I got another one too. I just need to locate it. But yeah, the Teflon foot that I have on there is like gold. When I am doing garments, I use my blind hem foot, and I definitely use my just regular compensation foot when I'm doing garments. And I change out the feed dogs from heavy to light. Yeah, Q-Tex is really good. And they ship so fast. Oh my God, they ship fast. A pink one? I'm not a big fan of pink, but I would buy a pink because there's all of our colors in Sewing World are very beige or silver. So I would buy it just because the pop of color. I would get it just because it's pink solely. I obviously I like color. So, anytime there is something with that's why I'm obsessed with Lauren's clips. One, it reminds me of my childhood and those jelly shoes that I would get blisters from because it would rub against the inside of my soles. But the jelly shoes, nonetheless, is a huge part of my childhood. And when I first came out, I was like, they look like jellies. And so I get a part of every time she goes out with new clips, I buy them. Right now, I'm really loving the black and emerald one. They're so freaking sleek. Um, but then I even like the pink, and I definitely like the purple one. My daughter keeps taking the purple ones, and then she makes things with it for her stuffed animals. Um, yeah, anytime someone comes out with color stuff, I'm like, yep, you got me. I'm sold. I don't even care if I need this. It's color in the workroom. I've never played around with an industrial. Oh no, I've seen a tin needle. My friend Christina showed me her tin needle. I'm super intimidated by embroidery machines. Me and my embroidery machine on brother one don't get along. I have played around with a Bernina one, and I actually liked it. The system was really easy for me. My dream machine is either that or like the Lemire from Brothers, because I like the scan and cut for the same reason. With the Lemire, you can draw out whatever you want. Like you could draw this and then scan it into the Brothers sewing machine, and it will start embroidering it. And I'm like, this will make my life so much easier because then I don't need software. Just work that out. Oh yeah. Good morning, Nancy. Yeah. And then I want to show more of the cylinder arm. I use a cylinder arm a lot, but I would use it a lot more if I had the table, because right now my cylinder arm is basically my top stitcher. And when I want to sew inside a bag, like if you tried the knotted thread, what is the name of that? The Gaia, like you sew inside the bag on both seams. In a flatbed, you're squishing everything down. I don't mind because I use a lot of foam, but in a free arm, it just it comes together so much easier. I want to paint my Jukis too, but the thing is you can ask anyone that knows me, if I don't sew in one day, I totally freak out. Like sewing is my therapy, sewing is my happy space. And that means I can't sew something for a while. I've seen Seam Legits, how she did it, and I really wanted to do like one purple, one teal, and then like have one all black. Like I wanted my free arm to be all black, but like a matte black. But then I realized that I can't be by the machine for, because Kendall was like, yeah, let's do it. And I'm like, but if I can't sew, I might. And also it rains out here, and my shed is not that big. It rains out here like all the time. DC. What up, Texas? So yeah, that's pretty much it. When I get off here, I'm going to get some coffee, and then put my kit together for the Mabel so I can do the cutout with Patreon. And hopefully maybe I think I can make the Ava bag in 2 hours, but I don't want to push myself where I'm just like messing up. It's not a very complicated bag. There's not a lot of pockets. It just has some really cool techniques. I do have everything cut out, ready to go. It is going to be Star Wars. Oh, and I did something really cool. So I got this this webbing right here in the middle from Zombie Bunny, but it was really thin. Like I feel like it only could be lanyards. It couldn't be webbing on a bag at all. Maybe a toddler's bag because it's not very strong. So I put it on top of this 1.5 inch cotton webbing, and that's how I'm making the bag. So I can utilize this really cool Star Wars, like it's basically this. It has like all of the stop places you want to go to while you're in the Star Wars universe. So I did that to give it a little pop. I know, I do that with my 3/4 of an inch webbing too, on 1 inch, just to give it like texture and dimension. All right, I love the Mabel too, and I love the way that I'm about to do it. I'm just I'm hoping everyone like. I think everyone likes the modifications I did on it. I'm excited. I need to pick out my vinyl for that. I think I'm going to go for navy blue. Yeah, I have it where you could do it as a drop-in, or you could do it as a I personally like drop-ins, but my group vetoed that real quick. So I do mine where you birth it, and you're to birth it through your zipper pocket. So we're going to be doing a center divider, zipper pocket, and instead of having what is it, the flap right here, because the flap is on the exterior back, I made it where it comes in for the side, so it's less bulk. You can have even top stitching. And yes, I purposely wrote all over the back of my bags and my handle so I can have measurements. Is key. So I'm cutting that out with them at 1, and hopefully I can then finish up Ava. I love to do mods. Yeah, I try to do mod. Okay, so before I do a mod, I like to make a mock-up, and that's why I say no scrap goes behind. Like, I'm not one of those people who be like, I use all my scrap and then secretly dumps them. No, I have this really cool bin. It says it's like a mail carrier bin from like the 50s that like has like postage going to different thing, and I just put all the scraps in there, and I'll just cut them out to make my modification. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's easier. And then I wake up, I can practice. Like I could just practice, makes it easier for me. Like I totally forgot to put foam in my flap, so I'm going to do that. And I'm going to, instead of using Peltex, I'm going to use Craftex because I like the way it curves. I think Peltex can make your flap turn up, and Craftex makes it go down. I don't know why. I have no reason why it does that. Good night, Lavender. I hope you have sweet dreams and have a good night. Oh, Nova's Knits. I know. You're going to be like, wait, you sew bags with knits? No. I know how to knit and crochet. So when I was little, my Alphalita showed me how to knit, and she would always tell me, Nova, go pick up your knits. Nova's Knits. Simple, easy peasy. But now I'm also being told that I need to like do a small business for my That's So Nova. I never even thought of that. To be honest. And I like should have, but because people were asking me for my business card at this last Hello Magical, and I'm like, I have my Nova knits, but nothing for That's So Nova. So that is it, my friends. I'm going to get ready for both of these things, and hopefully I can finish one before the other one starts, and have a good day. And I hope everyone gets some sewing done. And hopefully I was able to help anybody. You can always email me at shnovamabry@gmail.com. All that information is in the bio section of That's So Nova. So until the next time I see you, happy sewing and stay safe. Bye.